everybody, welcome back to Moonlight Hive. I am Esperanza, and today I am going to be going over a very basic ritual. You can tweak this with herbs and crystals and adding elements, taking elements away. The beautiful thing about witchcraft is that there is no right or wrong way to do things. It is your path, it is your story. And I think that's what draws us into it so much, is that we don't have somebody dictating and telling us what to do. It's just what feels right and what feels good and what our intuition tells us, and things that we learn from other people. Of course, definitely, because there's been so many before us, and I would never want to discredit that. But at the same time, witchcraft is an ever-evolving practice, and like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do things. The way that I do things, maybe other people don't do them that way, and that is totally fine. Everybody is entitled to their own ways and their own opinions and their own methods, and they have done things that work for them, and these are just things that work for me. So if you're interested in learning what I do when I want to sit down and perform a very just simple ritual for whatever situation is going on in my life, feel free to join me. So today I think I'm really going to be focusing on divination and third eye, clarity. A lot of my work recently has been all on external factors of being a mom, being a job, being a wife, having a job, working on my content creation, and just, where's my life going? What am I doing? What is happening in this crazy world? And I think I just want to focus on me up here. So we're going to do that today. We are going to start with, like I said, I am going to be focusing on divination. Let's just put it to that. So I'm going to be using stones and herbs and methods that kind of fall into that category. But this is just my basic guideline. You can literally do whatever you want. I normally don't do this this fancy. I am normally a gremlin in my closet, but that doesn't sound very attractive or appealing for you guys to see. So I brought you out here, and it is kind of weird for me to be filming outside with my neighbors. They probably think I'm crazy, but that's okay. So, like I said, I'm going to be starting with things that spoke to me that I wanted to pick for this, and I really want to focus on dream work and kind of unlocking that in me, because I think dreaming is really cool, and I think that it's something that we don't really understand. This is my moonstone. She's my baby. I sleep with her every night under my pillow, and I hope that she collects my dreams. So I want to put as much intention and beauty and anything that I can in this little stone. I want to charge her up. Let me tell you what we're going to be doing, what I'm going to be using, and then we'll just get started. I want to kind of stop and say one more thing before we get started. I think it is very important for you to understand what you're doing to a level that you are comfortable with. I definitely don't know everything there is to know about all of these herbs and stones and everything that I'm doing right now. But I know enough to feel comfortable with what I'm doing and to share that knowledge with people that want to learn more and want to know about witchcraft and what I do and what I practice and my ways of things. So if I don't say something that is 100% politically correct the way that you think that it should be, I'm sorry. Please feel free to comment, message me, whatever. But just remember that this journey is very individual to everybody that walks it, and it's okay if things don't match up 1,000,000% the same. Like, to begin with, I'm going to be using a purple candle because to me, purple, this color just screamed divination to me, and it's part of what made me want to do this ritual. Is this color just felt so enlightening and divine to me that I wanted it to be the center of my practice today. Totally fine if you use a blue, green, yellow, orange, purple, white, black, I don't care what color candle you use for any sort of work that you do. Your intention is always going to matter more than the color of your candle. Keep that in mind. But on the flip side, it is nice to match colors to emotions and things that you want to do. I'll always use a red candle if I'm doing a love potion or a love spell on myself, because to me that just represents love. If I don't have a red candle around, I'm still going to use whatever candle I have laying around. So it really is just, I have it. I don't want to push the idea that witchcraft is this unattainable thing that you can only do if you have a lot of money, because that's not true. I use a lot of really basic things that I have gathered and found, and I reuse a lot of things. I've gotten a lot of things at the thrift store. Basically, all of these candle holders, my cauldron, this tray, everything I got here except for my pestle and mortar was thrifted. These are from my local apothecary. These are from the dollar store. This was from Amazon. Witchcraft is not this unattainable, crazy thing that you have to practice for a really long time in order to be really good at it and be able to do it. Witchcraft is a personal journey of development and spirituality and discovering yourself, discovering nature, discovering the way that the elements work together and the way that the energy of the universe flows and how it feeds into you, and how this is such a beautiful experience that we have here on this planet. And I feel like witchcraft, however you want to call it, spirituality, paganism, whatever, connection to ourselves, connection to those around us, connection to our universe and our planet and our animals and the energies and the plants and the animals. That's what witchcraft is to me. So by doing things like this, I am channeling all of that energy that I have in me and putting it back into the universe. And by doing things intentionally and with love and with care and not for bad, you know, I try not to have negative, bad emotions. And some people, again, they're fine with doing like bad magic on people. I don't personally do that. I think karma is a very real energy, and brings me back to my point that started all of this. Anytime you do any sort of work, I think you should protect yourself. So when I mean protect myself, I am wearing my black tourmaline on my arm. I have cleansed myself. My house is protected. I have witch's bells. I have salt. I have cinnamon. I have actual protection as well, obviously. I'm talking spiritual right now, though. And while we're doing this, I'm going to be using salt as my grounding, as my protection. And again, I have my black tourmaline and I have my evil eyes all over me. And then also, as I do my ritual, I will speak protection and grounding and, you know, a blockage against negative energy. That's just how I practice. And I think it's very insightful to protect yourself before you do any sort of work. So, to begin, I really want to set an offering, just to my guides, to my ancestors, to whoever energies are listening to me. I don't know who they are, but I know they listen, because when I talk, things happen. And you know what? I'm drinking some wine tonight, and I'm going to give them some wine too. So I'm going to begin by cleansing my space. And just ask that whatever negative energy is lingering here, whatever energy doesn't need to be here, whatever is blocking flow, whatever is blocking me, I am cleansing with dragon blood, because it's very useful for openness, and I really just want to be open tonight. So I'm going to ask that if anything happens tonight, I have a breakthrough of emotion and internal awakening and insight, and just getting deeper with myself. So I have my salt on my tray and My salt is my grounding, my protection, and my intention behind it is that it keeps any thoughts that I have and anything that I say connected to me, connected to my divine, connected to my consciousness, and not used negatively against me, not used in a way that I didn't intend. And I think that's why it's so important to have strong intentions when you do things like this. And that's what we're going to try to focus on tonight. And so, like I kind of said earlier, I'm going to be focusing on divination. You don't have to focus on that. You can literally focus on whatever you want. I am going to be taking my purple little candle and setting her in the middle. She's so pretty. I love her. I've been wanting to use her for so long. Ooh. I don't know why I just did that. Okay. Ah! She didn't stay! Okay. I think I just flew her out. That's okay. Alright. So I got my baby, and I got my little circle of protection right here. And we are going to start with burning a bay leaf. And this is purely just to remove any blockages, any toxins. Again, really, basil is super protective. And I do this over the salt, so I can just drop it like that. Okay, so tonight I'm going to be using my moonstone, like I talked about earlier. She's my baby, and I sleep with her every night. She sleeps in my pillow, and I ask her to help me dream. And so I really am just going to be putting all of this energy in this ritual into my stone. Kind of my plan for the ritual, as well as just kind of clearing any blockages I have in me so that when I go meditate later, I am ready and open. So I normally don't say I get the reading or the message or whatever it is you want to call it while I'm doing my ritual. Usually, and it will, because like today I'm talking out loud a lot more than I normally would. But when I'm just by myself and I'm in my flow, I definitely get downloads or messages or whatever to myself. And it's really just me clearing myself out of the way, right? So that I'm able to receive that. So it's not just of all the negativity in the world and all the bad things and how bad your day was and this is going on and this needs to be done, right? You're getting yourself out of the way. So that's what this part is. And then I go meditate or do some yoga afterwards, and I'm just quiet and I just listen. And if I really have a thought, I'll write it down. I've got my journal. But today, we're actually going to pull some tarot cards, which is a new thing that I have been doing. I have actually always been really scared of tarot, and it's because it's been super misunderstood, obviously, because there's actually nothing scary about it. We're going to get to that later. My little bell. I love her so much. My little bell to awaken everybody. And then I have my little sword. This is for Athena, by the way. And then I got my little spoon. And I remember buying this spoon, and I was like, what do I need an altar spoon for? And the girl was just like, I don't know, but it's cute. And I said, I don't know, but it's cute. So now I have an altar spoon, and I use it for my herbs. But anyway, that's besides the point. Are you ready for the pestle and mortar? Good stuff, isn't it? Okay, so in my pestle and mortar, I'm going to be putting some rosemary. I am choosing rosemary because it is a grounding and protective and clarifying herb, and that is what I am really going for. Again, I am all about protecting myself, honestly. Protecting myself, protecting my family, protecting my friends. So, again, I have no rhyme or reason of why I do a lot of things, but normally I do things in threes. So I'm going to do 3 scoops of rosemary. And 3 is just a significant number for me. So you don't have to do 3s of everything. You can do whatever you want because it is your journey, and you don't have to use any of these herbs. You don't have to do this practice at all. You can just sit here and chat with me while I do this and get myself ready. You don't even have to be interested in any of this. You could just be hanging out with me, and I appreciate company. But if you learn a thing or two, I'd be pretty happy. So next we're going to go with Mugwort. Mugwort is actually something that I've really never worked with before, and I'm actually really excited because I think it's a very powerful herb when it comes to dreaming and manifestation and like internal work and like all of the divination stuff that I'm trying to work on, and just insight and awakening and like unlocking. And I think it's just really good for getting over blockages. So I am very excited to use it. So we got 3 scoops of Mugwort. This stuff is crazy looking. It looks like alfalfa. It smells really good, actually. Next up, we have got our lavender fields. And I am adding lavender because lavender is good for clarity and calmness. And I want to be clear and calm while I am meditating. So I like to add lavender. And I think it's time for a wine break. Babe! Okay, so we've got the rosemary, the mugwort, and the lavender in here. I'm not going to add any salt. Thank you. Weirdo. Thank you. Oh, hey. Thank you. Careful, don't burn yourself. No, the kitties have been let loose. Love you. Thank you. Okay. Back to the scheduled programming. Now that I've got more wine. Delicious, 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 delicious. And then I'm gonna add some to my little circle. I'm going to add my other stones in now. So I have this stone, which I'm 99% sure is labradorite. I can't say that. I never say these words out loud, so I apologize. And then good old amethyst, because is there ever a party where amethyst is not invited? I don't think so. So I'm going to put a little bit of my herb creation on top of them. Okay, so I am going to be pulling a tarot card, maybe 3. I actually haven't decided yet. And doing kind of a reading for myself / for whoever this resonates with. I am still kind of a pretty new witch. I guess I would be like a toddler witch. It's been like 2 years now of me like practicing, but it's a calling that I've had my whole life and something that I've always felt very drawn to. And coming from a very religious background, obviously this was the devil, and you can't, I would be going to hell right now, right? Just being transparent. And so leaving the church and finally getting onto my own path of witchcraft has been incredible. Honestly, it's been so eye-opening and revealing, and I am just so excited to keep diving in and to learn more. And really, that's what I want this page to be. I want this page to be something that I share my knowledge as I learn, and we learn together, and we explore together, and we create together, and we just make this beautiful community and this beautiful world full of people who are open and understanding and loving and connected, and they just know what are the good things in life, right? And that might be different for everyone, and no judgment or shame or criticism to people who don't follow this path. I know it's not a very conventional path, but it works for me, and I'm thankful to be called back to my roots and to be able to finally step into who I am, and it's just been exhilarating. So on my journey, I have been doing tarot pretty recently, so I don't really know quite what I'm doing yet, but it's been exciting to learn. And I am going to stop stalling now and pull this card. So I want to come at this card with the idea of what does the universe, what does source, whatever you want to call it, what does this energy want me to hear? What do my guides want me to hear? Ooh, wow. That's crazy. I have to show you this. So nobody thinks I'm lying. I didn't cut. I pulled the transformation card. Right? Tarot is a tool to look inside. And when you get a card and you come to it with anticipation and a question, of course, you know, I feel like what card gets pulled is very keen to what you need it to be, and there is a little bit of divinity in that, but I don't think that these cards tell the future. But they do tell what's going on in here because they make you sting and they make you feel, and those reactions are normally what you need to work on or what's guiding you or what you need to follow. And wow, transformation. Okay, so my card that I pulled, transformation, immediately what comes to my mind is everything that I've been talking about of wanting to get to that next level is here. It's happening. And I'm going to throw that back to you. If you came into this with the idea or the concept or the questioning of, is what I'm chasing real? Is what I'm looking for actually going to happen? Is it capable? Am I capable? Yes, you are. The answer is I am, you are. And sometimes that might require a little bit of work. Sometimes that might require a little bit of low downtime. Just like a butterfly, when you transform, you are this like weird little caterpillar, and you go into this cocoon and you turn into this hot lava liquidy mess, and when you come out, you're this beautiful butterfly on the other side, right? Transformation is never pretty. It's never easy. It's ugly. It's real. It's raw. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the ugly, the real, the raw. And those are the words that are really, 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 really coming to my mind right now is raw, vulnerable, just unedited, authentic you. And that is what you need to do for yourself. That is what you need to do for the universe. That is what you need to do for society and for the world, is to transform. Don't fight the transformation. The old version of you has to die. There's no getting around that. If you are seeking and searching for a newer life, a version of yourself that maybe doesn't exist yet, and something that you're working towards, dreaming towards, you have to get rid of the baggage. You have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive those that wronged you. You have to forgive those that didn't show up. You have to forgive the people that you don't want to, and that includes yourself. You have to have a real talk to yourself and figure out what you hold shame for, because you can't have shame. That is one thing that I've learned in this journey. You have to let go of shame. A lot of really bad things happen to me. I've done a lot of really bad, gross things that I don't like to admit to. You got to get over it. You have to forgive yourself, and you have to let go of shame. You have to let go of guilt. And if you want to move on into your new path, into your transformation, you have to let go of that. And not only letting go, but being willing to move on to the next one. And I think that is where we almost get, I'm going to talk to myself for a moment, we get scared of the change. And I'm not going to lie, even filming this video today was kind of hard for me to do, because it's just something I've never seen before. And it's something that I've never had any experience doing. It's scary. Change is scary. But that's why it's so necessary, because without change, we stay in place. And nobody wants to stay in place. You don't want to look back in 5 years and be like, I'm still exactly where I started, or exactly where I've been, but if I had just started 5 years ago, I'd be 5 years into it now, right? Time keeps going no matter what. And this card is telling you to go chase your dreams and go follow your path. And it's telling me to go follow my path. And I'm proud of us. And I think that it's going to be great for you. It's going to be great for me. So I think my challenge for myself to get through this transformative phase in my life is to try the things that I've been avoiding because they've been scary. And I challenge you to do the same thing. If you have something in the back of your mind that you've really been wanting to try, been really wanting to do, really wanting to go after, and you keep just silencing yourself, it's time. It's time, okay? Thank you so much for watching the video. I literally couldn't be happier with how all of this came out, and it is just so beautiful and magical and incredible, and it's been such a lovely night of talking and learning, and I'm gonna go do some journaling and some meditating before I hit the hay, and I hope that you have a magical day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye!